NASCAR is a sport of ups and downs. Every driver goes through this, but sometimes the down moments are absolutely gut-wrenching, and you can't help but to feel terrible for a driver. Today we're going to look at 8 of the most heartbreaking losses in NASCAR history. Before the video starts, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe as we're closing on 50,000 subscribers. Also, leave a comment down below suggesting any ideas for future videos. Anyways, let's get into the video. During the longest winless drought of Dale Jr.'s career, Jr. was about to put an end to it in the Coke 600. After playing some fuel strategy, the leaders were in serious doubt of making it to the finish. The leader on the restart, Kasey Kahne, ran out of fuel and it put Jr. to the lead.
Boy, Dale Earnhardt Jr. got a great restart. He's out of gas and there they go.
And Burton goes around.
Cars spun and wrecked behind them, but NASCAR kept it green. Entering turn 3, it was obvious that Earnhardt was slowing and was passed by Kevin Harvick just hundreds of feet before the checkered flag.
Jr. is slowing, he's out of fuel. He's out of gas.
And as at Indy, the leader at turn 4 does not get to the flag. Harvick, the closer, wins it.
Once again, where did he come from?
Dale wasn't able to end the winless streak until Michigan more than a year later, 143 races since his previous win. On the last restart of the 2018 Daytona 500, Denny Hamlin controlled the race, but it was Aric Almirola who led at the white flag. He did a great job blocking both lanes in 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. However, entering turn 3, Almirola was hit by Austin Dillon and slammed into the outside wall.
Dillon, where will he go?
Gonna get there.
Oh, into Almirola. Around he goes.
Good.
To add insult to injury for Almirola, Dillon ended up winning the 500. I mean, it was cool to see the number 3 car in victory lane 20 years after Dale Earnhardt's win, but it was a terrible night for Almirola, who had only won 1 cup race in his career at that point. What a redemption story for Almirola this would have been if he would have been able to hang on after his injury the prior year and in his first race for Stewart-Haas Racing. With 5 laps to go in the 1990 Daytona 500, Dale Earnhardt had dominated the race and led over 150 laps so far, sat in 6th for the final restart. By the end of the lap, he was in the lead.
Number 3, Earnhardt goes into first.
Yeah, he didn't waste any time.
This is the half a lap to go. 4-car shootout to decide it all. Dale Earnhardt.
Here comes Coke down on the inside. Earnhardt has problems.
Slopping back. Something is amiss. Here comes the field driving for the finish. And on the outside, it is car number 10, Derek Cope. Something amiss on the Earnhardt car. Coming to the line. It's Labonte pulling up and an amazing finish.
He led until turn 3 of the final lap when a tire went down and cost him the win. Derek Cope, who was riding around in 2nd place, cruised to the win, his first career win. Just 10 weeks later, Cope would score his 2nd and final career win. Earnhardt would have to wait 8 more years before he finally won the Daytona 500. Marcos Ambrose, a 2-time V8 Supercar champion who had made the switch to NASCAR in 2007, had dominated the second half of the race at Sonoma and looked to be on his way to his first career victory in the Cup Series. While trying to save fuel, Ambrose's car stalled and he dropped back several positions.
Aggressive in this situation, only because I think the 40. What's going on here?
Ambrose stopped on the track. Yeah. Unless he's lost a gear. This is going to be interesting.
Ambrose initially drove back up to the front, but was moved back to 8th place for failure to maintain speed under caution. Not only would have this been Ambrose's first win, but the first win for JTG Daugherty Racing. Tyler Reddick looked like he was finally going to take his first win at Bristol Dirt, leading nearly 100 laps. But in the last couple laps, Reddick made a couple of mistakes and let Chase Briscoe into striking distance.
Slide job.
This is it. There he goes.
Here he goes. For it. Down to the bottom, slides up into him. Who's going to save it? Neither one. They both spin out. Kyle Busch. And Kyle Busch is going to win barely. Steals one.
Briscoe attempted the dive bomb of the century and took Reddick out. Reddick was able to do a 360 and still almost won, losing out to Kyle Busch by about a car length. Reddick has lost several cup races near the end, but none as close and frustrating as this.
How did Elliott Sadler get back on the road and not lose any ground? He's going to have a chance to win this race.
If he pulls high.
Joey Logano gets turned. Elliott Sadler drives through. They're crashing big time. And the line, Brendan Poole. First career win at Talladega.
How about that for Brendan Poole? And a big hit from Blake.
Huge crash.
After the top two took each other out, it looked like Brendan Poole was able to back into a big win at Talladega. After celebrating and thinking he had won for several minutes, NASCAR determined that the caution was out while Elliott Sadler was in the lead and handed the win to Sadler. This was especially heartbreaking for Poole as he did nothing wrong. It wasn't a below the double yellow line move or something self-inflicted. NASCAR just threw the caution just hundreds of feet before the checkered flag.
Green flag.
Perfect. Good hesitation. Now if they can get hooked up and push.
And Tony timed it a little better. But can Bobby Labonte get up there to help Tony Stewart, or is he a man?
David Reagan had led the Daytona 500 field to green for the first green-white checkered attempt, but made a huge error dropping down to the inside lane before the start-finish line.
6 of David Reagan. He is the leader right there on the outside. He must maintain lane position to the start-finish line for this to be a legal start. When he changes lanes, he has violated NASCAR procedure, and he'll get a black flag.
They timed it perfectly. They just went too soon.
Undoubtedly a huge mental error on his side, but still a sad moment to see his frustration with himself in the cockpit. To add insult to this brutal loss, his tandem partner Trevor Bayne ended up winning the race.
Trevor Bayne is going to win the Daytona 500.
Unbelievable!
Happy birthday, Trevor Bayne, 20 years old.
Jimmy Johnson was enduring a dreadful season by his standards, not winning a single race. He only had 1 year in his career winning less than 3 races, and that was still a 2-win season in 2011. This desperation for victory got the best of him.
Through the final banked curve at Charlotte Roval. Now he goes to the inside. Here comes Jimmy Johnson. Locks the brakes up. And he's going to slide. He slides through the middle. Truex gets tagged. Now it'll be a fight for the finish line. Ryan Blaney in the 12 will win.
He stopped. He came to a full stop to make sure that he was good with NASCAR.
Johnson was shaping up a move on Martin Truex Jr., but locked up the brakes and took himself and Truex out of contention for the win. This move also eliminated Johnson from the playoffs, which he would have easily made it to the next round running second. It is kind of hard to feel bad for a 7-time champion, and sure, he's lost plenty of other races in the past, but this could have been his final career win. Anyways guys, that's it for this video. I hope you did enjoy. Let me know what you want to see next, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.